Frank is not happy. He said Arsenal pretty much played like a League One side. Well, he didn't, but he wanted to see more attacking from Arsenal tonight. Would that be fair, Frank?
Yeah, because we expect much more from that team, and what I saw against Manchester City is not for me the outlook of what a team should be if he wants to win the Premier League. Today, I don't know, I didn't watch the game, so I can't say, but winning 2-0 against Port Vale is good enough to go back to London and be happy and see what's going to happen in the next game for Arsenal in the Premier League. But what I saw against Manchester City was very much too much conservative, and having Eze, Martinelli and Saka on the bench, it's impossible for me.
We've got a whole season ahead. It's round 3 of the Carabao Cup. You're up against lower opposition. What do you want to see from an Arsenal team?
Just win the game. Who cares? Nobody cares. And actually, if you look at the 10 subs Arsenal had, they were bona fide starters, as were the 11 they started. It's just, as long as you win this game, nobody cares. They really don't care. The only thing you take from this game is, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm going to assume that they were thinking what I was thinking when I saw this starting 11. Did we buy Eze to play him in the early rounds of the Carabao Cup? Is that what we did?
At Port Vale.
At Port Vale.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I thought about when I saw this. When I was watching this game and when I saw the starting 11, that's the first thing I could think of, and I couldn't think of anything else. I'm with Frank. You play your best players in the big games, and when it comes to Port Vale away, you keep them on the bench so they don't get kicked, hurt or injured. End of story.
You know, the fact that, I don't want to make it about your personal issues, Stevie, but the fact that Arteta hasn't been starting Eze actually cost you money. Isn't that right?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
How's that?
Didn't you lose money to Dan because he didn't start Eze? Or?
No, I won the bet. I told him he wouldn't start him.
Oh, you won the bet?
Yeah, I won the bet.
Oh, well, I apologize. Hey, my apologies.
No, because
I'm so used to you losing.
Because I know what Arteta's like.
All right.
I said he wouldn't play. I said he wouldn't play him. And of course, Dan did his usual.
There you go. All right.
And that's why I find it ironic that against Man City at home, you try to win the Premier League, as he sat on his backside. But then they play Port Vale away midweek, a game that doesn't matter. Guess who starts? Eze. It's just ironic,
and
isn't it?
Of course, who scores? A nice goal.
Yeah.
Eze, of course he does.
Clean finish, inside the 18-yard box.
All right. Anyway, Arsenal got the win against Port Vale.
And Stevie won as well.
Yeah, that one as
Stevie
well.
won too, and that's very important. Liverpool won as well yesterday, beating Southampton 2-1 in their Carabao Cup clash with both Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike scoring, but it was the latter who was also sent off. He seemed to forget he was already on a booking when he took his shirt off to celebrate the goal. Well, here's Arne Slot on the situation.
In the first one was already needless and to a certain extent stupid, because you have to control your emotions. And I know how hard it is if you play Premier League or every league in the world. If you're number 9, then the defender can almost do everything he wants, and then when you shirt pull a little bit or you push him a little bit, then you get a free kick against you. But it's always the best to control your emotions, and if you cannot control your emotions, do it in a way that it doesn't lead to a yellow card. And then I told him as well, and I said it to numerous media already, if you score in the Champions League final in the 87th minute after outplaying 3 players and hitting it in the top corner, I can maybe understand that you say like, this is all about me, what did I do? But I'm old-fashioned, I'm 47 and old maybe, and I haven't played on this level, but I did score a few goals, and if I would have scored a goal like this, I would have turned around and walked up to, in this situation, Federico Chiesa and say, this goal is all about you. This is not about me. So yeah, needless, not smart. You call it stupid. I call it stupid, by the way, as well.
Stevie.
You got to love that guy. What's not to love about Arne Slot? He doesn't mess around with it. He's not coming out and trying to be the hard man and drive it down Ekitike's throat. He just does things the right way and says what he has to say. You know, he's not trying to cover it up. Or, you know, loads of managers would come out and say, well, you know, try and cover it, well, leave him alone, he's only young, and blah, blah. He doesn't do that. He's telling you, I told him it was stupid. I told him what he should have been doing. But he does it in such a way that you don't take offence, and I'm sure Ekitike won't take it as an offence or an offence. So I love the way the guy handles himself. Yes, it was stupid. You can come out with all the words, but I will stick up for him for once, because I did it with all my players that I coached. They all get one chance to be stupid. The second time they do it, no, they get the hammer. So Ekitike's done it. He needs to learn from it, because that's what you have to do. We all make mistakes at times, but as long as you learn from it, then it's okay. But you get one chance, and he's in my book, his chances are gone. That's it.
Can I take you into the mind of stupidity from Ekitike, and as to what he must have been thinking? Alexander Isak scores his first goal for Liverpool in the first half. And with the arrival of Alexander Isak, Ekitike is looking around, is doing the math, and said, wait a minute. I've had a good start with this club. I'm scoring goals. I've been good. But now this guy is scoring. Now does that mean that my role is now in jeopardy? And so as Ekitike goes and scores his goal, he goes and takes his jersey off and shows the name to the crowd at Anfield, saying, don't forget about Ekitike. Don't forget about Ekitike. Yeah, your new toy is here, but don't forget about this guy. It is, of course, everybody has described it, dumb, stupid, whatever you may want to call it. But that is, I think, the reasoning here, is that he's feeling the presence of the other guy who's just come in, who just scored a goal, and who now is probably going to play ahead of you. And by doing this, Hugo Ekitike, you have probably solidified that decision for Arne Slot, who now, Alexander Isak, go ahead and play. Ekitike, you come and sit right here with me.
Ah, one little blemish.
But see, that's why that one time is okay. Because what you just saw, if all the things Ali's saying are right, what you just saw is a guy. You know, you keep hearing us talking about you need a squad, you need competition for places. That's what you need. This is the nobody wants to play round of the EFL Cup if you play for the big boys, basically. And Ekitike has shown you that it matters, that guy's got an opportunity to maybe get my starting position. So the competition's fantastic. But as long as you don't do stupid things like you did, you get the ones and you learn from it. It's perfect. That's what you want at Liverpool. You don't want people stepping on the field thinking, well, it doesn't matter what I do today. I'm playing the next game. That's perfect. That's what you call competition for places.
Do you like how Slot dealt with this, Frank?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I like what Arne Slot said about it, and we all agree that's absolutely needless and stupid, and I said it yesterday. The only thing I disagree with Arne Slot, he said that he's 47 and he's old. You know, I'm 57, so what do I have to think about him being old at 47? But whatever. But the other thing is you know, as Stevie said, you point the thing, you say to the guy, that's the first time and the last time. And Hugo is young. I think he knows deep inside, he knows 100% that he was absolutely stupid to do that. I think he's a clever guy, he's a smart guy, and he has learned that he will never do that again. But I agree with Ali. That's a pity for Liverpool. And that's why Arne Slot said to him something, because the competition doesn't exist anymore, for that game, where he knows that Isak's going to play. And if Isak scores, Isak will carry on playing, and Ekitike will pay even more for that stupid move.
The draw is done, but standing out at the very top there is Liverpool against Crystal Palace in the fourth round, though, this time around, Stevie.
I wouldn't have chosen it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But definitely that's a standout tie.
Newcastle Spurs also has been picked up there. So this is what we're looking at the moment. Well, you wouldn't have chosen it right now.
No.
It's a bit of a different Crystal Palace this year. It's a bit of a different Liverpool this year.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? I had a look at my wee crystal ball just as you were showing
nice.
that. Palace are going to play the first team and Liverpool are going to play the reserves. So So this could go Crystal Palace's way.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Was it?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Aye, absolutely.
Whoa, whoa.
Aye, absolutely. Crystal Palace, after winning the FA Cup last year, will absolutely want to win either the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. They know they're not winning the Premier League. They know they're not getting in the top 4. So they will be going out to win this. And Liverpool will put out a similar team as they did against Southampton.
Stevie sounds stressed to me, Frank.
So,
I
yeah,
guess.
that's just
Yeah,
following
well,
what
can
they've done.
we agree to can we agree to disagree? I mean, I was at Wembley when Crystal Palace won against Liverpool, and I think it was a lesson for Liverpool and for Arne Slot. And Arne Slot, I think, will want a kind of a revenge, and I'm pretty sure he's going to put the first team to make sure that he can erase that loss that he got against Crystal Palace in the final at Wembley.
Frank, let me ask you a question. If you're Liverpool's manager and you're sitting top of the Premier League and your goal is winning the Premier League, are you going to play your first team on the Saturday, the Wednesday, because it's Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, and then have to play them again on the Saturday in order to get so-called revenge for what? For the Charity Shield? I don't think so. Come on.
Stevie, I have another question. When you were playing, did you think about the fact that you played on Wednesday and Saturday, that was a problem for you?
You're forgetting one.
We played like that,
Frank,
and they all carry along.
Frank,
You didn't care about that.
Frank, what you and I did and how things were done when you and I played, that's not how they do it today. It's a different mentality. You and I, our mentality was, I don't care what cup this is, I'm playing and I want to play and I better play. That's not how it works now. These guys know
Yeah, but
that
you won everything. Doing that, you won everything.
It doesn't change.
It's possible.
But it doesn't change what's going to happen and what teams do today. I mean, you're
saying that they're all soft, that they cannot play every 3 days because of the system.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that Arne Slot and all these top managers ain't going to play the first team. What's the next round? Is it the 4th round? They're not going to. They're not playing the first team in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup.
Stevie, we're gonna make a short story. I totally agree with you. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna play the first team, and I think it's a pity. It's a pity. That's it.
Yeah, no, it is.
I think it's a pity.
If I may, Stevie.
Sure.
Try to provide a different perspective. I'm going to give you Crystal Palace's perspective. You think they're excited to play Liverpool? You think the draw comes out and they go, yes, we got Liverpool. And I don't believe so.
But they will understand that there's a good chance they're playing Liverpool reserves, by the way.
Maybe.
And they want to win the trophy.
Maybe. But the Liverpool reserves, we have talked about how Liverpool has become this team that made all these acquisitions, that brought all these players in. We're talking about some of the best players in Europe that may actually play on that day. And not all of them, but some of them. I look at it from the perspective of Crystal Palace. I'm not sitting back going, man, this is amazing that we get the opportunity to play against one of the best teams in the world. Hey, this is great. What a great chance this is to advance past the 4th round. I don't know. I mean, you sound like if your team is not one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world.
All I said was that Crystal Palace will play the first team and Liverpool won't.
I know, but
and quite frankly, let's be honest. If the game was tomorrow and it was Crystal Palace's first team against the team that Liverpool put out against Southampton, you would think Palace are going to win, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh, come on.
Well, I'm rooting for your team. I'm making a case for your team. I don't know why you're so negative on your own team. That Crystal Palace would be excited to play Liverpool.
Frank just sat there and told you they completely gave Liverpool a lesson with their first team. So what chance is the reserve team got?
All right, hey Liverpool, pack it in, Liverpool. This season is going to be terrible for you. Are you kidding me right now?
Ebbs, well done. The first start for you, Christian. But Ebbs, we'll start with you. A first Arsenal goal. How special is that moment?
Yeah, very special, of course. Something that we've been working towards for a long time. So, yeah, happy to get the first and hopefully first and many.
In a tie like this as well tonight, coming to a difficult place like that, how crucial is that first goal?
Yeah, 100%. It's a very difficult place to come. They're a solid team. You know what you're going to get when you face them. But yeah, it's important that we got the first goal and move forward and into the next round.
Christian, how much did you enjoy your first start for Arsenal tonight?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So nice to get some rhythm back again. I've been waiting a long time for this first start in a competitive match, so for me it was amazing to get through 90 minutes today.
Getting that first goal, many people probably think Arsenal are going to kick on, get 2-3, but how difficult did Port Vale make it for you at times tonight?
Yeah, they made it hard. I think these cup ties are always difficult, especially away when the crowd gets going. They defended really well, to be fair. I think important was that we didn't give a lot of chances, if any, away. Always important when you come to a ground like this to not give anything away. So got the job done and on to the next round.
Second goal comes to the bench tonight, Ebbs. Does that show the strength in depth here at this Arsenal team?
Yeah, 100%. I think we've seen it in the past few weeks what players are doing when they come off the bench. So it's a lot of depth, a lot of special players on the bench coming on, and it brings fresh energy, which is what we need.
Christian, you're both new to the club, new to this group, but do you sense you've come to a very strong group that's capable at challenging at the highest level?
I definitely think so. I think when you look at our starting 11 today, there's a lot of talent on the pitch, even though we changed a lot of players from the weekend. So we need that depth and to be able to compete in all tournaments. Honestly, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be a part of it.
Well, as you said, the first for both of you, very well done. And Ebbs, you are the player of the match, Carabao player of the match. I'm sure that's not the first one you're going to get. Well done.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Well deserved.
Arsenal star Noni Madueke breaks silence after injury setback, confirmed by Mikel Arteta. Arsenal winger Noni Madueke has spoken out for the first time following the knee injury that has ruled him out for several weeks, as confirmed by manager Mikel Arteta. The 23-year-old suffered the setback early in last weekend's clash against Manchester City, and is now expected to be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks. Taking to Instagram, Madueke shared a verse from Philippians 4 verse 6, NLT. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need, and thank Him for all He has done. The post offers a glimpse into the player's mindset, leaning on faith, staying grounded, and remaining positive in the face of adversity. Since his high-profile and somewhat surprising £48.5 million move from Chelsea, Madueke has quickly won over Arsenal fans with his energy, flair, and attacking presence. While eyebrows were initially raised at the transfer fee, few now question his impact, both for Arsenal and the England national team, where he recently netted his first goal in a 5-0 win over Serbia in Belgrade. Speaking ahead of Arsenal's League Cup tie against Port Vale, Arteta provided further updates on the situation. He'll be out for a few weeks. We're not entirely sure yet. We'll likely do another scan next week, Arteta said. He felt something early in the match and tried to carry on, but by half-time the pain had worsened. Thankfully, early indications suggest Madueke has avoided a serious ACL injury. When asked whether a short-term absence is more likely than a months-long layoff, Arteta added, "We hope so. As I said, we still need to assess it fully, but it doesn't seem too severe at the moment." In Madueke's absence, Arsenal still boasts solid depth in the attacking third. Youngster Max Dowman is expected to feature against Port Vale, while Gabriel Martinelli, Ethan Nwaneri, and Leandro Trossard are all in contention for minutes. The hope within the club is that Madueke will return to action by November 8 against Sunderland, just ahead of the highly anticipated North London derby versus Tottenham on November 23. However, he's almost certain to miss England's next international break, which follows crucial Arsenal fixtures against Newcastle, Olympiacos, and West Ham. With the 2026 World Cup on the horizon and a spot in Thomas Tuchel's England squad up for grabs, Madueke knows how important the months ahead are. Despite this temporary setback, the winger has shown resilience, and if his performances this season are any indication, he'll come back stronger than ever. Madueke's injury comes at a delicate time for Arsenal, who are juggling domestic competitions alongside a demanding European schedule. With squad rotation more crucial than ever, Arteta must now rely on the depth and adaptability of his attacking unit, especially as the club enters a period packed with high-stakes fixtures. Internally, the coaching staff is said to be cautiously optimistic. According to sources close to the medical team, Madueke is responding well to initial treatment, and there's no indication of long-term structural damage. However, his rehabilitation will be closely monitored, with particular care taken to avoid setbacks. Arsenal's medical department is expected to carry out a follow-up MRI scan next week to determine the full extent of the strain and adjust the recovery timeline accordingly. The injury has also sparked significant discussion among supporters and analysts alike, particularly around Maduke's workload and physical management since his arrival. Despite being only a few months into his Arsenal career, Maduke has featured heavily both for club and country, raising concerns about player burnout, especially in a season with little breathing room between international breaks. In the short term, the winger's absence places added responsibility on players like Martinelli and Trossard, both of whom have had inconsistent fitness records themselves. Ethan Nwaneri, although still very young, could see more minutes in wide roles as Arteta continues to integrate youth into the first-team environment. There's also speculation that Reiss Nelson, who has seen limited action this season, could benefit from an increased role during Maduke's recovery period. National team manager Thomas Tuchel has also been made aware of Maduke's condition, as England begins early preparations for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Though the injury rules Maduke out of the next international window, his recent performances have left a strong impression within the national team setup. A return to form in November or December could be enough to keep him in contention for a spot in the squad heading into the new year. Meanwhile, within the Arsenal camp, the mood remains focused. Speaking to reporters after the Port Vale match, several senior players expressed their support for Maduke, describing him as a positive influence in the dressing room and praising his quick adaptation to the club's playing style and philosophy. As the winger begins his recovery, all eyes will be on how Arsenal adjusts, and whether they can maintain their attacking rhythm without one of their most dynamic wide players. While the timing is far from ideal, both the player and the club appear aligned in their cautious yet determined approach. Further updates on Maduke's fitness are expected following next week's medical assessments.